Wesley Vissers and Ramon Dino. What exactly happened at the 2024 Mr. Olympia? These guys, in all of the classic physique predictions that I've watched on TikTok, on YouTube, everybody had Wesley Vissers in their top 3 call out. A lot of people even had Wesley Vissers and C-Bum fighting for the top place. And the Brazil fans are crazy. Dino has such an incredible fan base from Brazil. And he was the favorite. And a lot of people had Ramon and Wesley and Chris in their top 3. A lot of the predictions that I've seen, they didn't even have Urs in there. Breon, I had Breon placing where he was going to be placed, but this was almost a huge upset for a lot of the predictions that came out. Let's start off with Wesley Vissers. In my opinion, I think he tried to play the conditioning game a little too hard. I think when it comes to bodybuilding, you're either going to play the size game or the conditioning game. I think he went way too hard with the conditioning. Even if you look at some photos where he was 2 weeks out, the dude was ultra shredded. So some could even say that he peaked too early, or he just simply didn't load enough food in during peak week to completely fill his frame out, because he did look really, really different and he looked a lot better at the Arnold. And a great example of this was TNF gave a really good breakdown of Wesley Vissers from the Arnold to the Olympia and kind of his opinion about what happened. And I completely agree with it.
But as I was doing my research for this video, I found something worth pointing out. Wesley was off. Now, this might not be something that you notice immediately because his conditioning is so good, but pay really close attention to the arms, the chest, and the lats. He's much more full here. You don't believe me? Take a look at where you can see it even more. The calves. Even though he killed conditioning over here, this physique is more complete. And I'm not saying that if he had brought this muscle size and fullness that he would have jumped up in position. What I'm saying is he did not significantly improve from the Arnold and still managed to not crack the top 5. He has got a lot of room to grow, and hopefully most of that growth goes down here.
Now, a lot of people hate Wesley Vissers' symmetry, his body structure. They say he's blocky. Just think his legs were downsized. Like I said, I just don't think he filled up properly enough because he played conditioning too hard, and he did look a little bit downsized from the Arnold, and I think that really cost him just playing the conditioning game. Now, one thing about Ramon is that Ramon has some of the best arms in all of bodybuilding. The dude has crazy structure, round muscle bellies. I mean, he absolutely annihilates people with his front double bicep. His front shots are always crazy. I've seen a lot of critiques from other people saying that he doesn't know how to pose properly. Like, look at his side chest. A lot of times his arms are way too high, and it makes him look kind of awkward throughout his posing. But one thing I did notice about Ramon was that it seems to me like he loses in his back shots. His back actually looks smaller than we're used to seeing him. When Wesley beat Dino and Urs at the Arnold, I think all we did was see a really off Dino and a really off Urs, and that allowed Wesley to move up. But with Dino, the biggest critique that he got at this year's 2024 Olympia was his tan. I mean, he started pouring water. No other athlete was pouring water out on stage. Now, I do think that Dino went through more posing than the other competitors. I know that they had him in the first call out, and then they kept him there for after they got rid of Urs, after they got rid of Mike Summerfield and then Chris, Dino had to stay there again. And I think that's when he started pouring sweat. It was just that he was going through round and round and round of posing. And I think that was what was causing him to push out a lot of water. And you could see Breon telling him, like, hey, you need to wipe down your tan. Like, dude, everything's falling apart. And I think that also made him a lot more nervous and stuff. I think overall what costs Dino is his back development. It seems like he just loses his back shots. It's just not there, where he catastrophically beats a lot of people with his front shots. Overall, this is going to be really interesting going into next year. Now that Chris is gone, the whole classic physique division is opened up, and it is so exciting. It's sad to see Chris go, end of an era, but if you're a true bodybuilding fan, this is awesome, because any one of these guys can make huge improvements and slide into that first spot. And you could see with how things went from the Arnold to the Olympia, how if you're just off a little bit, a guy moves up and that changes everybody's opinion. It changes everybody's predictions, their placings, and it just changes everything about bodybuilding. And I think that's what's so fantastic about this sport, is that if somebody comes off, that person moves up into position. But let me know what you guys think. What happened with Wesley? What happened with Ramon? Give me your opinions. Let me know in the comments below.